Hi, this graph is going to be very similar to the process we followed for the first video of this lesson. There's one additional thing, the negative sign here, but we're still going to use the same method to figure out the asymptotes. We want to figure out where tangent of x over 4 is undefined, so that's going to be wherever x minus 4 is equal to pi over 2, or where x over 4 is equal to negative pi over 2. So we can cross multiply those. We get 2x equals 4 pi, or x equals 4 pi over 2, which simplifies to 2 pi. And then when we cross multiply this one, we get 2x is equal to negative 4 pi. And in the same way, when we divide both sides by 2, we're going to get x is equal to negative 2 pi. So you can see that our asymptotes are going to occur at multiples of 2 pi. The trick to finding the period of this graph is to check what x is being multiplied by. In this case, it's 1/4. So we're going to take pi divided by 1/4, which tells us our period is 4 pi, which is kind of what we predicted because 2 pi and negative 2 pi are 4 pi units apart. So that's how we find the asymptotes. The other thing that's going to happen is this graph is going to be vertically flipped because of the negative sign. So normally the tangent starts at negative infinity and moves up to positive infinity, but in this case it's going to be backwards. So let's go ahead and sketch it real quick, and then I'll show you it on the graphing calculator. So we have an asymptote at negative 2 pi, an asymptote at 2 pi, so mirrored across the y-axis. And then instead of coming up like that, our graph's going to start at infinity and come down to negative infinity. So let's just go ahead and view that on the graph. If we look at tangent of, or actually negative tangent of x over 4, it will look like this. So here's our normal tangent, and as you can see, the tangent of x over 4 is expanded horizontally and also upside down. Now let's look at what happens when we have a constant added to the x value, in other words, a phase shift. Again, we can find the period by simply taking this number that's multiplied by x, which in this case is 1. Pi divided by 1 is simply pi, so we know each asymptote is going to be pi units apart. And again, we can use the same process. We'll set what's inside the tangent equal to positive pi over 2 and negative pi over 2. And we find that when we subtract pi over 2 on this one, we get x is equal to 0. So there's our first asymptote. And then when we subtract pi over 2 here, we get negative pi over 2 minus pi over 2, which is minus 2 pi over 2, or with the 2's crossing out, negative pi. And as we predicted, 0 and negative pi are pi units apart, confirming that the period is pi. So when we sketch that, we'll have an asymptote at 0 now, and we'll have an asymptote at negative pi. And since it's flipped, we're going to start at infinity and come down into negative infinity. Just to give you a little better picture of that, I'll include the picture from the book so you can see what that would look like. So now it's your turn. See if you can figure out what the asymptotes of tangent of, or negative tangent of 3x plus pi would be.